Street Step Project and Endowment Grant. Did she come up here or something? There was nothing said the other night at the meeting about the grants.
She didn't?
No,
I thought she was going to give out the thing.
Yeah.
She's never contacted.
That was my understanding, you were going to receive them at the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was nothing about it. Come and went.
I do have a couple topics on the project.
Yeah.
I spoke with Jim and Missy Kessel at length on this end because that concrete's fairly new. And then Jim contacted me today because where this like box culvert is right here, where it protrudes out, you could have 2 steps all the way up to that point. And from there on needs to be 3 steps to meet the requirement, almost all the way up to the end.
Going south.
Right.
Going south. Yep. So I really need to provide you a drawing, I guess, to have you understand a little bit. Basically, it'd be 2 steps from that box that way and 3 steps almost all the way to the other end. Might be 10 foot or 12 foot short of that. Where the street.
There's more rise on this north end than there is on the south.
Not when you get in there and measure it. It looks that way.
Yeah.
So.
So we're going to have to let bids. We're going to have some specs, engineering.
We've had all the bids. I mean, they had to provide a bid for us to write the grant. So that's been done.
And that's good enough to work with.
Yes. Yep. The only problem I have is we have to do pictures before and after, and we have to provide some type of line drawing, which we'll get that done. And we're $2,000 short of the grant, I believe. Is that the total?
We got 9,000 and we asked for 11,125.
So a little over $2,000.
There's wiring in there. They're aware of that.
Yeah.
What about the water shut off or over there by telemarketing?
Those we would just put the flipper boxes in so that they will be not really locked, but they'll have a tool that Jake has so that they'll be flush with the cement. Betty has one in hers, so they can't knock them off with the snowplow.
Is that part of the project?
That's part of the project.
Okay, because I know Missy had a concern before.
Jim had mentioned that they have that orange, I'm going to call it inner duct. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
And maybe from one end to the other, we have a piece of that inner duct in there, so if we ever had to run some extra wires or something, there's a line in there.
That's the way they do it anymore.
Yeah.
Bring it up at each pole.
Yeah, we'll just put a cap in there, and I think it'll be
just one light pole.
3 total.
Three poles. Yeah, that's a good way to do. Because then you don't have to screw up the wire.
That particular part wasn't in the bid, but they said they'd donate the inner duct if we had the connection. So.
Are you talking Jim Kessel?
Yes. Oh. Yep. So it'd be very minimal at most for that.
Yeah. That way, you don't have to work with a live wire and your point cement. You can come put the wire in later. Make it flat.
The handrails, everything will be put back.
So are you going to leave what's there?
Correct.
Okay.
Up
to the.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And how much the endowment was like for 9?
Was for 11.
We asked for 11,125. That was half. We got 9.
Okay.
When we priced it, did we plan on it going the whole
No,
length?
we had planned on leaving that portion of cement.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure she'll show up. I figured maybe she'd been up here.
I thought she'd call.
So.
Whatever.
I know she's been sick. That's all I know.
And there's another round of endowment?
There's another round of endowments in
Gambling money that good, wasn't it?
April. In a nutshell, there was, if I'm correct, there's more money there than what was used, and if you do not use it, I think you'd end up losing it because the state's wanting it out for projects. I don't look for that to be in the future that way though. I look for, you know, with gas and the economy, that could change, so. You know,
What
people
type of
apply,
cost?
but sometimes they're not always a bricks and mortar project, so.
Oh. We couldn't do the sign with that, huh?
Lord,
A
Early,
sign would qualify,
Would it?
yes.
Early's looking for
Because we've been talking about
16,000
getting a new sign.
roofing project on
We'd
their
have
Well,
to,
City Hall.
have to get it matched, but we do a fundraiser.
Yeah. And this has to be in the end of April, is that? or
Yep.
Yes,
End of April.
yes.
We'd have to move quickly on seeing what,
You'd have to let Marcia know what you guys
You'd
want
have to
to
move
do.
really quickly, otherwise you could get it ready and we could do it on the next round in December again too. If we can't get it
Yeah.
this April, we could go with December if we could get it planned.
who is it that just had, aren't there a few that just had some done? New
Signs?
signs.
Oldabolt's had new signs, Galva's got a sign out on Highway 20 that's new, who else just did signs? Was Litton maybe? There's quite a few that have done signs.
There are some restrictions on the sign that you need to be aware of. If it's in our city limits, we're pretty open. If it's out on where new Highway 20 will be, they're already asking for those permits to be filed, which we had that one meeting.
Right.
Well, and we don't have to do anything today on.
No, no.
No.
Ready to go. Okay. 11A was the rest of the street talk. Before we go there, we have a guest showed up. Gene Hillman.
Jeff Love.
You are?
Jeff Love.
He's the first interview.
This applicant.
First interview,
This applicant.
He's
For
the first
police.
interview.
Applicant for the police
Police.
chief.
Oh.
Gene, if I could back up to 11, so I guess I'm hoping there's no concerns on the other $2,100 that the city would have to come up with,
I'm
Or-
hoping we can get donations.
or we could get some donation.
Maybe we'll have to run a spread.
Well, we have to match what they gave. That's the first requirement, right?
Correct,
And then we're still going to be short.
yeah. So,
The 11,000 is included in the budget money this year under the general fund. We already have that amount built in, not a problem. And the extra 2,000 I think will be okay too, really. We've got some refunds coming on the fuel tax and things like that, so that should help
can
cover
help it out.
Mhm.